Good evening and a warm welcome to GRTS News at 2000 hours, broadcasting live for viewers in the Gambia and around the world. In the headlines this hour, the return of the seasonal harvest period. GRTS examines how climate change affects this year's cropping season, increasing prospects for low yields. Attaining Sustainable Development Goal 2, the Minister of Agriculture urges concerted action to end hunger amid growing food insecurity fueled by conflict and disease. And the late afternoon inferno ravages a family house in Carnifin, leaving the family in a desperate situation without accommodation. Away from home, a dramatic U-turn after a week of missile strikes. Putin claims he has no desire to destroy Ukraine. Plus, living on the edge, the International Monetary Fund says Africa's economy is in a precarious position as rising costs and prices increase social tensions. Well, that's the top of the news and much more coming ahead with me. Aissatou Keita, thanks for joining us. Well, it's great to have you here. We begin this special bulletin with the annual harvest season currently underway as farmers across the region begin harvesting their produce. The 2022 cropping season got off to a great start with unprecedented rainfall since the skies opened up in June, with high hopes of bumper harvests rising farmer optimism. However, the effects of climate change has taken a major toll on crop performance, leaving many farmers in a desperate situation due to low yields below expected prospects. Our North Bank correspondent Farmer Kanye visited farmers in different communities across the region to assess the outlook of the harvest season.
Chilling tales of Modify, a smallholder farmer who lives in the village of Meme. I don't know what these black spots are, but it has really affected my farm, he said. The early millets have failed this year. Wherever you go throughout the country, the narrative is the same.
In Gambia, dem bena kadu bi lañ la jambatal moy suuna bi baxut suuna bi dang koy gis ni mu taxaw nga ne he ki suuna bi baxna way boko te gubbi dara neku fa mu ngi ñuul.
Most farmlands in the provincial Gambia are battling with fertility due to continuous cultivation. So for farmers to have better yields, they must regenerate the soil using inorganic fertilizers. For Modify, his loss is greatly attributed to the cost of fertilizer, but it's also possible that he may be one of the victims of climate change. I traveled for some kilometers to the community of Ndungucharen to meet a champion farmer.
ñun wéedu wuñ ci politique rek yaakaar politique déedéet dañuy bay ndax tooli gerte bi tey ñu nekk ni ñun ñoko bay suñu alal la ñoko ñaqat waaye nag dafa am loo xam ne tey ci mbayteef.
I don't only rely on politics. This farm is one of my farms.
nga may la kattan nga liggéey.
I have invested my resources here to reach to the state.
waaye nag ba tey ñu ngi talal askan bi di talal.
Let's go back to the farm because in my view that's the only solution to transform this country.
bay mbayteef bi ndax mbayteef bi rek moo mën a yóbbu Gambia dara mënta yóbbu Gambia lu may mbay mi ñu dooleel ko.
Amat's farm is pretty extensive. A rough estimate of about 12 hectares of peanut is already mature for harvest.
ak Gambia nañ dellu ñu dem liggéey rek moo ñu mën a yóbbu buñ liggéey rek dañoo talal suñu réew ndax réew mi du mën a dem mukk te liggéey yomut liggéey boobu nag fi toll nii dañ cee talal suñu loxo suñu président Adam réew mu dooleel liggéeykat yi.
I called on His Excellency the President and his government to continue supporting agriculture and farmers because it is only through farming we can change this country.
lii dina wan nit ñi xam ne liggéey rek mooy dëgg.
Amat is a politician but also a big guru in the art of farming. He sees the opportunity to call on the government to provide more support to farmers whilst urging all citizens of the North Bank to come back to the land to ensure food self-sufficiency. Many farmers across the region have started to realize the fruits of their months of labor, but a good chunk are battling with what they describe as crop failures. For the news, I am Farmer Akani.
Well, let's cross over to the lower river community of Pakalinding, where Women Development Association partnered with the Village Development Committee to plant dozens of trees in the village. The move is meant to encourage tree planting to protect the community from the effects of climate change. Usman Walde.
Sustainability growth of the planted trees. The VDC formed 15 committees to oversee and take care of the planted trees. The VDC called on the various groups to be committed to their assigned responsibilities, promising that there will be prize for each group which sustain their plan.
We want to contribute towards climate change because we have seen that climate change is something which is really affecting the entire world. So the only thing we can do is to come and plant some trees.
Rohi Kante, a participant and a native of Pakalinding village, applauded the turnout of the women in the fight against climate change.
I advise all the women of Pakalinding, all the Kafo, all the leaders of the Kafo to come together as one people so that all the trees will be sustained.
She used the opportunity to give a brief background of the association.
We have 14 Kafos that combine together to form this association called Pakalinding Women's Association. Why we call it Powder Kafo is because most of the women, they are elderly people, they cannot pronounce Women Association Club, so that's why we say Powder Kafo, so that it will be easy for them to pronounce it.
Pendapa, a VDC committee member in Pakalinding, said the exercise has brought unity among the people of the village, especially women, noting that it has inspired them to work together for the welfare of the village. Alaji Ibrahim Toure, on behalf of the village youths, used the opportunity to thank Mr. Sidi Kinte, who is the brain behind the tree planting exercise. He assured that they will protect the trees to enhance development in the community of Pakalinding. Usman Balde, GRTS News.
Meanwhile, a late afternoon fire totally ravaged a family house in Carnifin layout on Friday. Family members say an electric spark caused the blaze, which started around 5 p.m. at the end of a long electricity outage on Friday. The family of 16 lost everything, including belongings valued at $300,000, and are currently struggling to find accommodation, especially for their children who have been accommodated by neighbors who provide all the help they can muster for the household. The family is seeking help to recover the loss caused by the devastating blaze. Now, Destination Gambia is all set for a new holiday winter break opening the country for travelers. The first batch of tourists jetted into the destination on Friday as officials welcomed the 2022-2023 holiday season, attracting holiday makers from around the world. The prospects of a difficult winter and war and a spiking gas costs could drive scores of holiday makers to the country's shores, and officials have been touring global markets to promote travel to this Smiling Coast. As always, the British opened the winter break with the first flight making a graceful landing at the Banjul International Airport on Friday. Let's hear more from the Director of Marketing at the GT Board, Adamanjai.
Because this is the beginning of our tourism season for 2022-2023, and as you are aware, that UK is our main market, and by having 164 passengers on board the flight to the Smiling Coast, it speaks a lot. And there are some more coming. For us as a board and as a ministry, we are very, very optimistic about this season. Today is 14th of October. I cannot remember the last time we had any flight that comes earlier than 14. So this is the first time, and the signs are very good. Like I said, the ministry, the board of directors, the GT board, the DG is, he's a #1 marketer anyway. So you can imagine. But like I said, we're doing what we are mandated to do, and the whole country will see a difference, because for us, we live with tourism, and when tourism starts, you see everybody having a smile. Everybody has a smile.
So what do we have in store for tourists coming into the Gambia?
We have a lot to offer. I think when you talk about the Smiling Coast and our unique selling proposition ranges from leisure, ranges from conferencing, ranges even from excursion, a lot of things, to be honest, even nature, because if you look at our niche products now, you consider, the River Gambia is actually on top. So there are so many things that people can come and do here, in terms of surfing, golfing, you name it. But like I said, the country has a unique products, and we're here to to say it with the whole world that the Smiling Coast of Africa has opened its doors for all visitors. We have just started with the Gambia experience, and on Sunday we'll have correspondents from Holland, and the list goes on and on and on. So just watch out, some more coming.
Manjai, the Director of Marketing at Gambia Tourism Board, speaking about the maiden tourist flight of the 2022 holiday season, and the second batch of tourists is set to arrive at 1 a.m. by Corendon. Now, Sunday, October 16th is World Food Day, set aside to put the quest for food security on the spotlight. Populations across the globe are facing soaring hunger and food prices exacerbated by the conflict and disease. This comes amid a raft of crises, traveling millions of vulnerable people around the world, alongside increased malnutrition as food systems face the ravages of climate change, affecting local and small-scale agriculture, which is seen as a long-term and sustainable solution against the food insecurity. Global food production is currently affected by three major factors, specifically the climate emergency, impact of COVID-19, and the new conflicts such as Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which is contributing to a major upheaval in global food and energy markets, with rising food and fuel prices putting millions at risk of hunger. Hawanja takes a close look at the crisis.
This year's commemoration of World Food Day is themed on leaving no one behind, towards better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. The Minister of Agriculture and the Director of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization issued statements urging actions to end hunger and attain food security, noting that COVID-19 immensely impacted efforts to achieve food sustainability goals. Dr. Demba Sabali, the Minister for Agriculture, emphasized the importance of celebrating World Food Day for those involved in agricultural practices.
The day highlights the importance of food security and the need to end hunger around the world. In addition to raising awareness about hunger, World Food Day also seeks to promote sustainable agricultural practices and highlight the importance of ensuring access to nutritious food. It is an important day to reflect on the progress made in combating hunger and malnutrition and the challenges that remain. It is also a time when we acknowledge the hard work of our farmers and other key stakeholders in the agriculture and food sectors.
The world faces a profound food security challenge intensified by conflicts, economic crisis, and a raging climate emergency. Experts say agriculture is among the most cost-effective humanitarian interventions being expanded to end hunger. The Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, Koo Dong-yu, outlined the impact of rising food prices around the world, hampering the fight against hunger.
Today, 3.1 billion people around the world still cannot afford a healthy diet. Hunger continues to rise, and it's affected 828 million people in 2021. An increase of about 46 million people since 2020 and 150 million since 2019. Farming and malnutrition are leading to loss of lives and put at risk the health future for our children.
Dr. Sabali added that urgent investments are needed in the agricultural sector in the fight for food sustainability.
Today, more than ever, we need to look inwards within our country to achieve better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life, in a drive to achieve self-sufficiency and reliance. Our agri-food system holds great potential for a more equitable and prosperous future, as they are interlinked to many areas of lives and the economy. More investment, both public and private, is needed to ensure no one is left behind, especially in times of disaster and situations of widespread hunger worldwide. It is vital to ensure support for the people's livelihood that's effective, coordinated, sustainable, and timely enough to take account of critical planting seasons and livestock production.
Current food insecurity levels make it critical to transform agri-food systems and build more efficiency in agricultural practices, honoring this year's theme to leave no one behind.
Our agri-food systems hold great potential for a more equitable and prosperous future, as we are interlinked to the many areas of our lives and economy, from agriculture to the natural resources, to energy, to health, and many more. Agriculture is among the most cost-effective humanitarian interventions. To honor our pledge to leave no one behind, it is critical that we transform our agri-food system to be more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable.
The World Food Day was established in 1945 by the FAO. This year's celebration finds the world in a major pandemic, conflicts, climate change, and rising food prices, greatly impacting global food security. The Minister for Agriculture said, everyone needs to act in solidarity to ensure no one is left behind in the advocacy for food sustainability. Hawanjai, GRTS News.
The Department of Forestry, in partnership with the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, have given prizes to some communities in the Upper River region for their outstanding performance in protecting their forests from bushfire and other damaging activities. The prizes range from milling machine, bicycle rakes, and cooking pots to motivate them in their efforts in complementing the work of the forest in the production of the forest. Our regional correspondent Seidu Kamara witnessed the presentation ceremony and fastened this report.
This is a gratitude award by the Department of Forestry and the Community-Based Sustainable Dryland Forest Management Project to communities that perform well in the protection of the forest from bushfire, deforestation, and other harmful activities. The Regional Forestry Officer in the Upper River Region, Yankubo Bajon, said the presentation of these materials to communities is a motivation mechanism, rewarding community efforts, complementing their work in forest management, protecting woodlands from bushfire and exploitation.
Our enrichment efforts is at stake when we have forest fires. So that is the more reason why communities that have performed well in assisted natural regeneration, that is basically fire protection, fire belt clearing, patrolling, and so on, to at least give a token of our appreciation for others to also emulate what these communities have done this far. And the materials are there to strengthen their fire management capacity.
The prizes are in two categories, separating joint forest management parks under community care and gazetted forest parks, with prizes going to community forest managers protecting forest resources that have been handed over to communities.
In these communities, okay, then they have been protecting the forest from fires for quite a number of period, because you will see that, okay, then an assessment was done and then a set of criteria were put in place, and then this is what the staff followed to see that, okay, then the communities who have protected their forests, or the communities who have joined with the Department of Forest Department, to ensure that forest parks are being managed, you understand, are protected from forest fires for a number of period. So this is why now, okay, then we are giving them, at least a token or a reward of equipment, so that at least that would, at least motivate them. And then as well as for communities that are also, in the community forest management activities, they will be motivated, they will be inspired, to say that, okay, then they also can continue on the management of their forest resources, at least to protect them from forest fires.
The Deputy Governor of the region, Mamadi Sisen, congratulated the beneficiary communities for their effort and commended the Department of Forestry for the initiative. Sise advised communities to make best use of the materials. Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, Ibrahim Wali expressed delight and appreciation to the Department of Forestry and partners for the gesture, and assured officials the materials will be put to good use.
Today is a very happy moment for me, all right, and for those who benefited from these materials given to them from the forest officer. This will be given to our patrolmen for them to go around to monitor and coordinate other activities in the forest. Those villages who are not opportune enough to have this thing, I will definitely advise them to contribute, to work hard, hand in glove, more especially those villages who are not having community forests at the in their villages.
According to officials, this initiative will serve as an encouragement mechanism and inspire other communities to emulate beneficiary communities. The awarded communities include Tuba Wopa and Saregaba, who won the first prize. Dramani received the second prize, and Demba won the third prize, Kusi fourth prize, and Tuba Wuli won the fifth prize. The beneficiary communities were urged to put up mechanisms to sustain the materials, which include milling machine, bicycles, rakes, cutlasses, and cooking pots. Seydou Kamara, reporting for Justice News from Basse Upper River region.
The Ministry of Health, through its Environmental Health Unit, has wrapped up a 2-day training on standard operational procedures of incinerators for supervisors and operators in the Central River region. Mudlamin Sane has that in this report.
Incinerator is one of 7 medical incinerators provided by the Gambia government with funding from World Bank for hospital waste management across the country. Public health officials in the Central River region gathered this morning to train supervisors and operators on standard operational procedures for using the machine.
We installed them since June, but we are developing SOPs on how to operate these machines and how to run them. So we trained the operators yesterday on how the theory part. Today we are training them how to burn the safety boxes, because we all know needle and syringes, if they are used on someone, you don't know the status of the guy, and someone got in contact with this, you can contact HIV, AIDS, hepatitis and something else. So we were overwhelmed before this one's arrived.
The practical aspect of this 2-day training at the regional level features both theory and hand-on exercise, showing participants ways to operate and incinerate medical waste.
We did the curing process 2 months ago, where we do the curing for a period of 88 hours. From there, we did the training of the operators and the supervisors, and we also developed the standard operating procedures, which was developed 3 weeks ago in Biam. From there, we also did the validation, and today we are here to do the final training of the supervisors and also started the incineration of the safety boxes, because we are having a lot of safety boxes in the health facilities.
The standard procedure also entails training in safety measures using personal protective equipment.
You go to a health facility, you have a lot of waste. So accumulation of those waste can cause so many hazards, especially around those areas. So like bringing at the incinerator to incinerate them is very much significant. It's going to reduce the hazard and of course the volume of waste around and within the health facilities.
The idea here is to effectively dispose waste and hazardous materials from the hospital by permanently burning them.
We are very particular with infection prevention and control. And wherever we go to, we do see a lot of safety boxes lying about, which could really pose danger to both the health workers and the people who are coming to seek treatment from the facility. If this is put in place and working properly, the accumulation of these toxic materials within our health facilities will be very reduced, and the working environment will be very safe.
This training is among many programs aimed at educating participants in the management of vital waste machines as the health sector moves to raise standards. Maud Lamin Sane reporting for GRTS News from the Central River region.
While you're watching us live from Banjul, and this is GRTS News, we take our first break now.
Till you drop. Enjoy free calls every morning between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Pay for the first minute and the rest of your call is free. Nothing beats this. Let the conversation begin. in the country, always thirsty for more. A team of superheroes with special powers unite to redefine the way we are connected. Here comes Sister Joy with her powerful CPE router filled with free 10 gigabyte of data valid for 30 days and costing only $2,500. Her power is the fastest 4G in the Gambia and connects up to 32 people all at once. The CPE router is available at all AfriCell customer care outlets. AfriCell got office with the power to change the world.
Welcome back. Now, missiles have been raining down on Ukraine for days, but Russian President Vladimir Putin says he doesn't wish to destroy Ukraine and has no immediate plans to keep up with widespread airstrikes. Moscow launched a barrage of strikes on towns and cities for the past 5 days, leaving many Ukrainians wondering where they can turn to find safety. To the international...
The only thing is, we are told to hide. Hide where? We don't have any place to hide nearby. You can't hide in the cellar because you'll be trapped by debris and no one will find you. So we go outside and we wait until it's over.
This fresh missile strike on Zaporizhia is part of a continued barrage. But Russian President Vladimir Putin says the high-intensity attacks in Ukrainian cities will not continue.
There is no need for massive strikes, at least for now. We'll see from there.
Putin also declared his massive mobilization of Russian troops is almost complete.
This work, the mobilization, is coming to an end already. As of now, 222,000 of the mobilized are already joining the armed forces. Of the 300,000, I believe that within 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, all mobilization activities will be completed.
In recent days, Ukraine has retaken much of the Russian-occupied Kherson region. Following those land gains, Russia is now urging civilians to leave Kherson.
Well, to end the news, a look at our main points once again. The return of the seasonal harvest period. GRTS examines how climate change is affecting this year's cropping season, increasing prospects for low yields. Attaining Sustainable Development Goal 2, the Minister of Agriculture urges concerted action to end hunger amid growing food insecurity fueled by conflict and disease. And a late afternoon inferno ravaged the family house in Carnifin, leaving a household of 16 in a desperate situation without accommodation. Away from home, a dramatic U-turn after a week of missile strikes. Russia's Vladimir Putin said he has no desire to destroy Ukraine. Plus, living on the edge, the International Monetary Fund says Africa's economy is in a precarious position as rising costs and prices of fuel, social tension. Well, that was all we had time for in the news at 2000 hours. Do join me again at 2200 hours for more news and updates. Until then, thanks for watching.
Are you a photographer? Show us how you see the strong Gambian woman. The mom, the walker, the athlete, the leader. Take a picture using your very own creativity for a chance to win $15,000. This competition is open to both amateur and professional photographers. Join the AfriCell Women Empowerment Photography Competition. Send your picture by email to promo@africell.gm or presented in person at the AfriCell headquarters on Cairo Avenue. AfriCell, the Gambia's leading network.
Welcome to the Tough
Hub. This is a brand new show brought to you by Tough Africa Global to educate you on real estate business and all the information you need to know about real estate.
After 45 years of construction and real estate development in 8 African countries, it is time to share my experience, and it can only be done in the Tough Hub. We will be inviting experts who will give you facts and the right regulations on real estate development.
Join us every week on our social media platforms for an exciting show. You can also watch us on JRTS TV every Sunday at 8:30 p.m.
So today we're just discussing about Tough Africa Foundation. I guess our viewers already know Tough Africa Foundation is the social corporate responsibility of Tough Africa Global. It's 1% of Tough Africa Global's total revenue, and it's time for Tough Icon this year, Tough Icon 2022. Who do you think would have for Tough Icon 2022 this year?
It should be a big surprise. You know me, yeah. This one I keep to my heart, and my chest, very close to there. By the way, it's already decided, and today we will air it out, so everybody will know. So you'll be given a big surprise. Let's go. Let's go now. We're going to have it today. The big Tough Icon, COVID is gone, so now is the time to celebrate and honor people, Gambians who have done so well, in this country, and I think they need and deserve to be recognized. But one thing I tell you, you need to be over 70 years old. So where are we getting the cake from?
We're getting the cake from KJ Cupcakes. What we have done is we're supporting young Gambians and also ladies. So if you could see, the packaging was done by Boxed. We're getting the cake from KJ Cupcakes. She's also a lady. So I've decided to support young Gambians and especially young women.
Wow. Drink it out. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to go in first or? You lead. Okay, you lead. You be part of it. That's fine. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Assalamu alaikum. We're here to come and see our old teacher. It's a big occasion, huh? This is for you. You have been identified as the Tough Icon. We want to celebrate you. Yeah. What a surprise. Well, it's supposed to be a surprise. So you know about the Tough Icon? We'll tell you more about it. What's on TV? Yeah, the Tough Icon is one of our initiatives, honoring Gambians that have worked so hard for this country that needs to be honored. Yes, and the law is you have to be over 70. Yes, yeah, but we need to honor those who really put in a lot. So let's sit somewhere and we'll read the letter out to you. Do you want to do it here? So there's more light here actually. There's more light here, okay, sir. Yeah. How are you? I'm fine.
I can see you. I watch your program on TV.
Yeah. So Mrs. Jau, it says Mrs. Jau, Mrs. Satan Jau Fajara. This is the Tough Icon Awardee for 2022. Tough Africa Foundation, which is a social corporate responsibility of Tough Africa Global, aims to support Gambians with special emphasis on the youth in a number of areas. These include learning and leadership, networking, skills strengthening, development of small and medium businesses enterprises, and advocacy and sensitization. In this regard, the foundation comprises of the annual TAF conference and networking event, the TAF startups, the TAF hub, the TAF leadership academy, the TAF training, and TAF icon awards. TAF icon serves as a mechanism to shine a light on and celebrate successful Gambians who have retired and are quietly spending their time in giving back to the Gambia by spearheading initiatives that would positively impact the lives of many Gambians. TAF icon